Hi everyone, I'm proud to present this set of two games that I played against Servas. These games will have you at the edge of your seat. It certainly had me sweating. These are very exhilarating games and you must not miss them. I can guarantee you, these are pretty epic games. And because of that, I will be playing the video back slower than I usually do. So the video will be much longer, but I hope you understand. There's a lot of things I want to say about these two games. So let's start off with the first game. I'm playing Runner. It's not my deck, it's your viewer's choice deck, the Ken Upman deck, with Savoir Faire to tutor programs. My opening hand is very good. He has a lot of money. Can't complain about it. My opponent is Blue Sun, so I'm pretty sure he won't ice up all three central servers in the first two turns. And even if he does so, I'm fairly confident that at least one of them will be a big ice he won't be able to rest. So 3 steps ahead is actually something I want to see, especially in conjunction with Data Sucker and Desperado. So now, successful 3 steps ahead will actually net me about 8 credits and 3 Data Sucker tokens over the course of a turn. That is something I'm looking forward to do very soon. But I can't use it on my first turn. My first turn will be dedicated to setting up my Desperado Data Sucker rig, and then I'll run R&D. Sure enough, he doesn't rest that ice. He only has 4 credits, so I can rule out the possibility of it being an Ice Wall or a Quandary or Enigma. Basically those basic neutral ice or Ice Wall. It's probably something bigger. We'll find out. So obviously I cannot contest his oversighted Curtain Wall, which he had on the first turn. That was very lucky for him, but he mulliganed for it, so it was well worth it, because now he's up to 18 credits, and this is where my deck starts to struggle. As you know, my deck is almost completely reliant on run-based economy. So against Blue Sun, I can easily get flatline while trying to get money. Here what I do is I perform 3 steps ahead. It's very tempting to just run archives 3 times after that, but I want to access some cards. And unfortunately, I ran into an Enigma. That's the worst piece of ice that I can expect, because now I lost a click and my 3 steps ahead was pretty much wasted. My last click was running on archives. I get 1 sucker token and 2 net credits from 3 steps ahead, which is pretty useless. Yeah, I basically wasted my entire turn face checking at Enigma. That was a huge mistake. I definitely was too greedy there, thinking that was a Curtain Wall. Because if I forced him to rest that Curtain Wall, I could run R&D for the next 2 turns with impunity. But he out-mind gamed me this time, and not only that, I'm going to pay the price because I wasn't able to draw more cards to set up. As a result, he's going to overscore an Atlas. Or what seems to be an Atlas anyway. Thankfully, I draw into my John Masanori, so now I can get more efficiency with my runs. So of course I take advantage of the vulnerable archives and get a free draw, a Desperado credit, and a sucker token. These sucker tokens are going to be invaluable this game, because Blue Sun can boast a whole wide range of ice, from the 1 strength Ice Wall to the 10 strength Curtain Wall. So I'll definitely need all the sucker tokens I can get. I remember that I accessed a Chimera on top of R&D. Yep, that was the first card I accessed on my first R&D run on my first turn. So should keep in mind that the Chimera is out there somewhere. And there's a reason why I'm saying this right now. In the meantime, he does a very smart thing. Instead of scoring the Atlas quickly, he took a turn to ice up archives so that I couldn't get free runs on archives anymore. Then following that, he managed to score an uncontested Atlas with 3 power tokens, 3 agenda counters. So I'm basically screwed. If I even attempt to run, he will tutor his Sea Scorch combo and kill me. So I need to find my plus crit, and I try to do so right here. In the meantime, he advances another agenda, so now he's really putting the pressure on me. I'm looking in a horrible spot right now. I don't have the right breakers. I don't have any breakers that can contest his remotes. And yeah, I'm screwed. I'm screwed this game. I need to do something this turn, at least force him to not score the agenda next turn somehow. Otherwise, it's game over for me. And I realized that the only way I could even attempt to slow him down is to play the quality time. If he scores another 3-pointer agenda, I assume the agenda in there is a 3-pointer. he will win the game in 2 turns after that because he can tutor all his hostile takeovers with that super overscored Atlas. So I quality time and I see exactly what I need. My Artman, and I already have a savoir-faire on board, and I have a stim hack in hand. So now I can actually do something. I stim hack into his remote server. So let's see what he has in store for me. I need to contest this agenda, and I'm definitely going to do so right now. He shows me the Enigma. So now it's definitely time to bring out the Artman. The question is, how many power counters do I want to put on it? I chose 1 because the lowest strength ice that he runs is an Ice Wall. You don't really expect 0 strength Quandaries in Blue Sun, especially since he's shown his Enigmas already. So I move on. And what do I see? Of course, it's the Chimera that I access on R&D. Why did I not think of that? Obviously, he had a Chimera on R&D. Of course, he would put it in a remote. Why would he put it on a central? And it's 0 strength. What an idiot. If I had remembered about the Chimera, I would have set my Artman at 0 strength and I would have made it through that server. That was a fatal error on my part that cost me the game. He pawned the Enigma, obviously, and proceeded to score the agenda. So, thankfully, it's not a 3-pointer. It's only a geothermal fracking, but this leaves me in a position where I don't want to be in. There's a ticking time bomb right now, and it's ticking down very quickly. Of course, I can't do anything this turn, so I cannot run, obviously, because he's too rich with geothermal fracking, and I need to solidify my own economy. After that stim hack, I was left pretty poor. So I install my daily cast, and I play a show gamble. So now I'm getting 4 credits every turn, in addition to the 6 credits I already have, so that's pretty decent. In the meantime, he spends 1 Atlas token to tutor a hostile takeover. So this tells me something. He has 3 hostile takeovers in his deck, and he's just going to tutor them all the way to victory. So basically, he has 5 agenda points now, which means I have 2 turns to steal 1 hostile takeover. If I don't, I lose the game. So, desperate times call for desperate measures. I run with a Maker's Eye into R&D, and I hope that it's not a toll booth. It's not a toll booth. It's a hive that has 0 subroutines. I'm not sure. Oh yes, he rezzed it so that he could bounce into his hand later, because it's pretty useless. So my Maker's Eye used a Project Atlas, along with another Chimera and a Hedge Fund. So this is nice, but this is not enough. I need 5 more agenda points to win, or I need to snipe off a hostile takeover to stop him from winning within the next 2 turns. So, that Maker's Eye was successful, and because of John Masanori, I drew into another Maker's Eye. So I'm looking to use that my next turn. In the meantime, I'm running Archives now to get more money. We'll see if he reses that piece of ice on Archives. He does. It's an Enigma. That doesn't stop me. I pay 1 Data Sucker token and I get 1 back. And then I get some more money. 3 credits from Desperado with security testing, so it's completely worth it. My last click, of course I run HQ. Right now there is no choice for me. I cannot spend my time sitting back and trying to get money with Katie Jones, even though she's in my hand. Now the only thing I can and have to do is to run. Run like never before, because he is 2 turns away from winning. And he continues his hostile takeover train. You think that Astro Train is the only train around? Well, with an overscored Atlas, the hostile takeovers become Astro Trains in themselves. He scores his second of 3 hostile takeovers. He's at match point. Okay, things are getting dead serious here. Alright, so if I do not snipe the last hostile takeover on this turn, I lose the game. If I don't get 7 agenda points by this turn, I lose the game. So I security test Archives, and I make a run through R&D. Just accessing 1 card in case it's an agenda, then my Maker's Eye won't be wasted. I can see more cards with the Maker's Eye. Holy crap! Yeah, you can't believe how lucky I was there. That was really, really lucky. I have nothing to say. The Maker's Eye yielded nothing, but that didn't matter. I've actually managed to stop him from winning the game. That was a lot of luck. That took a lot of luck. And I ran through HQ, obviously, because now I'm just rushing for the win at this point. And the extra data sucker tokens also help as well. And I find a false lead, so now I'm actually up to 4 points, and he cannot win the next turn. That's huge. That is really, really huge. That I I'm not sure if I would say that what he did there was correct in retrospect. He did leave R&D completely open, and that was arguably a mistake because, yeah, by leaving R&D open, he's acknowledging that he's willing to take the risk of me accessing a hostile takeover and stopping him from winning the game outright, in which case, hopefully for his sake, he has a backup plan. So what is it? Obviously, the first thing he does is to replace the 2 eyes on his central servers, but I don't really care because I have an Atman 1 with 9 data sucker tokens. I can get through every single piece of ice in the game except for Swordsman, yeah. And Lotus Field, of course. In the meantime, he power shuts down my Savoir Faire, which is pretty annoying. Yeah, I definitely needed that Savoir Faire because if he reses any nasty ice in my face, at least I can tutor my breach or my Atman to make it cheaper to get past. So first I run through archives for the free money. And I look at my hand. I drew into a dirty laundry with John Masnori, and I have an account siphon in hand. Well, I guess it's time to blind siphon. That's exactly what I do. Because he's on 17 credits with a geothermal fracking token, I need to keep him poor so that I do not risk getting Sea Scorch for the rest of the game. So with 34 credits to his 12 credits, this more or less guarantees that I will be safe from tag and back for the rest of the game. And of course I clear the tags. That's a no-brainer. Alright, so his turn, he clears virus tokens. Very, very smart move. That's why he didn't even defend against my account siphon. This was his plan. He wanted to refresh the ice on the centrals and then purge virus counters. So now I cannot safely run anymore. I know he has archers. This time I remember that I actually accessed an archer from his hand. I do not want to hit an archer with my Atman on the table. And yeah, because he's Blue Sun, he can actually refresh he can put new face down ice, which I have no idea what they are. They can be curtain walls, they can be enigmas, all of them will stop me. And I can presume that there are no ice walls there for easy passage. So yeah, I can't run anymore. I have to play passively. I'm looking for my Savoir Faire at this point. A Savoir Faire will allow me to face check his face down ice without any worries. If he reses an archer in my face, so be it. I'll tutor my Atman 6, I suppose. Yeah, I still have one more Atman and it's sitting in my hand. But without a Savoir Faire to take advantage of it, I cannot run. The other tool I have to help me in my quest is Inside Job. And I'm sure he knows that. He's a very smart player. What he does is to triple ice his remote so that it is in no way vulnerable to Inside Job. So the other thing I can do with Inside Job is to get my first data sucker token online. So another thing I'm looking for is my last copy of data sucker. I think I have one more copy in my deck. If I can install that and Inside Job a random server, central server, I'll have 2 data sucker tokens and I can start snowballing by running through Enigma once more. So yeah, again, I do not want to preemptively install my last Atman in my hand, because once I set its strength, my rig is set and I cannot change it, and he can easily exploit that to his advantage. I cannot let that happen. So at this point, I'm just drawing for the tools that I need. As I said, I need a data sucker, I need a Savoir Faire, any of these things. It's not happening yet, unfortunately. So yeah, legwork is useless at this point. Sure gamble, I don't need the credits. Yep, things are looking pretty bad. I'm trying to think of a way to get more accesses on his centrals, because if next turn he is almost certainly going to advance an agenda in that remote, and I know I cannot contest a remote that's 3 ice thick with an unloaded data sucker. He reses a curtain wall. I was very afraid of the archer. Thankfully it's not an archer. I'm pretty sure the archer's on HQ, so I ran on R&D instead. So Seeing the curtain wall there gives me some peace. I can choose to install the breach next turn, but he bounces the curtain wall back, so it's up in the air again. Why didn't I install the breach before running R&D? Simple reason. If it was an archer, I would have lost the game outright. I cannot install any of my programs until I'm very sure I can get past an archer. Alright, his turn, he does the thing that I feared the most. He installs a remote server. That could be a posted bounty or a false lead that wins the game. I draw into a femme fatale. Okay, that changes things. I almost forgot that the femme fatale was in my deck. I completely dismissed femme fatale against Blue Sun because obviously femme is useless. But not in this case. I femmed the second last piece of ice. I played my Atman 0 to get past the last piece of ice, which is Chimera, and I performed the inside job to get past the first piece of ice. 4 clicks, exactly. I guarantee passage through that remote. Hopefully it's not a Jackson or the route that he tricked me with. I have to hope, and sure enough, it's the false lead, the game-winning false lead. So, once again, for the second time, I very, very luckily diffused the threat of him winning the next turn. That was very clutch. That was very crucial. That turn there. Had I not drawn the femme fatale, I would have lost. Granted, I drew a special order earlier, but I didn't actually think that it would come in handy. That femme fatale saved me. Having so many credits to install that femme fatale outright also helped a lot as well. So thankfully he didn't see that coming. But now my rig is completely set in stone. The 0 strength Atman and the 1 strength Atman are there. If he plays a Lotus Field on the remote, I can't get past it at all. Alright, so he gets a Jackson going. First thing I do obviously is to run it. Well, by now I'm pretty sure he has drawn his Sea Scorch combo, but the main reason I wanted to run it is because I want him to shuffle all the agendas that he dumped last turn back into R&D. I assume he dumped lots of agendas because he spent the entire of last turn throwing up. So yes, he shuffles in Power Shutdown, Oversight AI, and a random card. Then I install my Breach and run R&D with impunity, knowing that with Femme Fatale, if I hit an Archer, I can pay with Femme. Turns out it's just a curtain wall, which I get past for 6 credits, offset by all that bad pub. He has 4 bad pubs, so running was basically free. I hit the priority requisition to win the game. Wow! What a turn of events. That game was his to win. I definitely shouldn't have won that. A lot of lucky streaks went my way. The right cards came up at the right time. The double Maker's Eye early on when I needed it the most was clutch. Hitting the false lead with the top deck Femme, that was huge because I didn't actually think of tutoring Femme with special order before that. Had I kept the special order in my hand, at least you could say that it was a strategic play. But the way I did it, it was just playing the cards that I had at my disposal, and I was very lucky to have drawn the Femme. Above all, the biggest saving grace for me was the sniping off the 3rd copy of Hostile Takeover. Yeah, I know you can argue that if he chooses to score Hostile Takeovers like that, he is acknowledging that he has a backup plan in case I do steal a Hostile Takeover off the top of R&D. He tried his best to contest me thereafter, but the raw power of my run-based events were just too powerful. Because with Account Siphon, I managed to get up to a lot of credits, and that allowed me to plow through most of his ice thereafter, even with my limited Atman suite. So yes, that was really a crazy game. As undeserving as I was for the victory, because I made so many crucial errors early on, it was certainly the comeback of the century, because I actually managed to overcome all odds to barely eke out a win for this game. So, thanks for watching and happy net running.